Actually, you know what? I don't know why I didn't think of this. We've always done them on Facebook Live, but what if we hopped on a Zoom? Anybody want to hop on a Zoom real quick? I think that would be super fun. Let me know. And then I was like, I could share my screen on Zoom. So if you all want to do that, we can do that. Invite. Ooh, that's a good one, Jace. Okay, so yay. Okay, cool. So I'm going to put the Zoom link here. You guys can join here. Those of you that on. Yeah, it's definitely easier for me to share there. Facebook Live does not have it together yet. Woohoo! Okay, cool. So this will go in the unit section under part 1, and then part 2 will be the recording of the Zoom. So I'm going to close. Then turn your camera off. It's for me to be able to teach, for you to be able to see it in a really good way. And also, we don't fucking care what you look like. You're beautiful. Yay. Okay, cool. All right, I love you guys. I will see you on the Zoom, and I'm going to post this link in the group. Yay. And then part 2 will be the recording of the Zoom. So I'm going to close. Then turn your camera off. It's for me to be able to teach, for you to be able to see it in a really good way. Okay. Hold on, I'm gonna make sure everyone in the group has this. Oh, I'm on. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, not you. Oh, I see what you see. I see what you're saying, Jace. Okay, cool. So I'm typing this out, and you can type this out in a spreadsheet. I give you a worksheet in the group. But let me share my screen, then we'll get started. Share screen. Okay, so this is all what I want you to focus on. There's Audrey in my text. So here we go. This right here. These are all like client notes and stuff too. But this is what the worksheet entails. So if I'm mapping out, let's say I'm going to have 110K month. You can start with the goal and reverse engineer, or you can work the other way around. So if I go, I'm launching the mastermind and the fast track. So for paid in fulls for the mastermind, I'm going to hit this. Fast track is, let's just say I want 10 paid in fulls. So that's 10 times 3 equals about too many threes. Okay, cool. So if I'm looking at my revenue goal, right? Here's what I'm launching is these two things. I can bold them or heading them. Then for here, I want a paid in full. payment plans. So recurring, I would put on recurring for January. Any recurring payments that you already have coming through. So we have a 20K payment, I know, from a private client that wanted to break up 2 of her payments. And then we have like residual payments from other programs, but I don't even have the numbers for that. So I'm not going to get into that. But if I look at here for January 13, that's 33, that's 66,000 plus. So my goal was way off. I'm going to hit like 140, 50. I'm not doing math right now. For January. So I want you to look at, these are the payment plans. This is what I have coming in from December. So these were sales that were coming in for December. Recurring incoming payments. New payment plans that were set up. There would be from the fast track. There would be 3 times these. And then the fast track payment plans are all over the place. So I would say new fast track. Because these are for new mastermind. So each program, you want to put it under payment plan. So if you're launching 2 things in January, here's how many paid in fulls I want. Here's how many recurring that I want. This is super messy, but just seeing it written out this way, you can do it in a spreadsheet. I have it in a worksheet where you can write it out as well. But I've never, probably a spreadsheet is the cleanest way to do this. And Dustin has a spreadsheet of something like this somewhere, but I'm not a spreadsheet girl. I like to just write it out. My husband is a spreadsheet guy. Okay, so new fast track payments. Well, the fast track payments are all over the place. They're like, we have a 12-month payment option for that, which is like $300 or something. So I could say I want 10 times 333 equals, and then the 6-month payment would be like 10 times 666 equals. So I'm just putting this out there I'm not doing my full numbers for January for you guys, but I want you to see how I lay out and stack my revenue. So if I'm looking at this under payment plans, all of this, I can just copy and paste and move till February under recurring. And this one I would move throughout the whole year. I'd move 12 times because it's a 12-part payment plan. And this I would move for 6 months, and this would be for 6 months. So that you can look on your revenue and say, man, if I launch nothing in March, I'm still going to be bringing in payments from January. So people say they don't understand how I make money. I'm like, you guys, I stack my payments. I don't like paid in fulls. People at the private level, they want to always pay me in full. I'm like, fine. I like recurring revenue, but there's no right or wrong. In the beginning, I really wanted paid in fulls because I wanted to invest in that next mentor. I wanted to buy the house or the car or whatever. I was like really, really pushing. So how can we get more of what we want? So if your goal is, I want more consistent revenue over time, then we incentivize that consistent revenue over time with lowering the interest rate or lowering the penalty for paying over time. So if it's $3,333, they would pay $333 over 10 months. It would be the same cost. Or I would make it $20 more or $100 more if I really wanted just recurring payments. I wouldn't incentivize a huge discount. So if I want a lot of cash flow, if I want a quick cash injection into my business, I'm going to heavily discount the paid in full price. Like, I think when you get my private, I think you only get like $1,000 or $2,000 discount for paying in full with me privately, because it's just like not something I don't need the money right now. I don't need a ton of cash flow injection, but in the beginning I did. In the beginning I was like, yes, pay me in full, pay me in full. So I would mark the payment paid in full price down to be like so much cheaper because I wanted people to see, oh my God, you're saving $1,000 if you pay in full. Does that make sense to everybody? Does anybody have any questions on this part before I move on? How much extra do you recommend for payment plans? Okay. I want you to think of yourself like a bank that's you're self-financing for your clients. You are borrowing from their future self. They're leaning on your credit, right? This is just, yeah. Well, we haven't gotten anywhere near profit margins. You know, we're not going near that in this program. Dustin will go into the masculine strategy side of how to leverage your money, how to invest it wisely, and how to save on taxes. He's an accountant, so how to like reinvest it in a way where you don't get penalized for making a ton of money. So Dustin's going to get into that, but we're not getting into the profit margins. Like my profit margins are all over the place. Some months they're really high, some months they're really low because I paid a coach in full, or I brought on a new team member. I mean, my overhead for my business is $24K a month. For my overhead. So that's because I choose to bring on full-time employees and not temporary, because I think long-term vision. I don't want temp contractors. I want people dedicated to the Slay brand. It's not bad. I ran that way with temporary contractors for the longest time, for years and years, but this level of my business, it's not aligned for me to bring on a ton of contractors. I want full-time employees. How many payment plan options should you give your clients? Don't overwhelm them with too many. We do 2. We do 2 at first, and then a lot of times we'll drop a third one if it's our big, like we only do a third payment option for the fast track. So for the fast track, because we really, really want it to be for people, a specific type of person that isn't used to investing in themselves, high ticket, like $3,000 program, we want it to be 6 month, 3 month, we want more payment plans with that than we do. And we have a really high completion rate. So because we believe in the service and we deliver great work with that program, we feel really confident now to offer an extended payment plan because we've never had a problem. I mean, we have 1 or 2 people here and there, but we've never had a problem with people honoring payment plans. Like Gravy reached out to me. I think Amy Porterfield uses Gravy, but they reached out to me wanting to partner with me and wanting to know how they could help. And I was like, honestly, we don't have that problem. Like, people love to pay me. I do a really good job. And I love on people really hard, and they feel safe and open to come to me if they need something or need more than what we're giving. And we're open. We create an open line of communication. So we have a lot of really satisfied customers. So we don't have missed payment issues. But also I'm not marketing to a really tactical, practical, I'm not ClickFunnels hacking my way into people's DMs or sales. Like, not that that's wrong or bad. It's just when you build a relationship, people love to pay you because they don't want to break a relationship. So I have a relational business, and we are adding on a lot of funnels this year. So will I say that I'll need Gravy later on the road? Maybe, but I haven't yet. So I don't have missed payments. How many payment plan options? So keep it simple. I would do 2. We only do 3 for the fast track, and we usually drop it last minute. So yeah, don't overwhelm yourself with all the different types of payment. I find myself trying to take out Stripe fees, and I was like, no, don't take out Stripe fees. I mean, like, all the fees are a part of how much money we're putting out. We're paying Stripe. It just happens to come out like the IRS first. Kind of like your payroll taxes when you work for someone. IRS just takes it. I count that as cash sales. Revenue in, because it's revenue in. It's just you don't get to keep it. Oh, sorry, Brittany Ann. The extra that I pay, it depends. So the extra amount that I add depends on how heavily I want to incentivize pay in full. Because if I need a quick cash injection, I'm gonna make that pay in full look so fucking juicy, y'all. Like, that pay in full is gonna look like, God, if I pay in full, I could save like $1,000 on a $2,000 program. It's like half off. You know what I mean? Like, so if the percentage wise, if I'm like, I want money in now, y'all, I'm gonna heavily incentivize that. I'm gonna do up to 50% off if I want a lot of cash injection. And also, doing an early bird bonus with 30% off gets you quick wins. It gets you feeling really good about, oh, I've already got 2 people in the door. So this launch is going to be a breeze. And that quick win at the beginning of a launch feels really, really good to your ego. And I'm not here to just pacify your ego or to band-aid over wounds or to not make yourself mentally stronger, but there's something to be said for visualizing your money, seeing how much is out there in the realm of your potential to grasp onto. Like, oh my God, I could bring in for me, it looks like big numbers, right? It did not in the beginning. It was like, okay, 10K month. I'm going for a 12K month. Okay, I'm going for a 20K month this month. Oh my God. Like that was the beginning. And it all started by visually mapping out the money, like where it's coming from. So like January, I'm going to take on 1 or 2 private clients. So I'll probably still see the same number, but I'm not launching a mastermind. So January will be a huge revenue, maybe even close to 200K, but February will probably be another 6-figure month. It won't be this astronomical thing. Does that make sense for everybody? That's why I look at quarters, not just months. Cool. Okay, so, but what I want you to do here is remember to carry your payment plans. So when you're starting off, even if you have a payment plan for a private client or consulting or done for you service, like, oh, look, before I even launch anything, I have in February, oh, I've already got, 6,666 coming in and 3,333 coming in. Wow, I've already got 13,000 plus this, plus this. Look at those payments. If I launch nothing in February, I already have that coming in. And that's really powerful to like stand upon the energy of I'm safe. It's a safety feeling of seeing recurring payments coming in. And we do bake in attrition of about 3 to 5%, depending on the program. So we attribute for when we're calculating, Dustin can get into the long term. I'm not getting super masculine with you guys because it's not relevant to I'm not here to focus on the 3% that's going to go wrong. Like, that's not my goal as your coach. My goal is to get you dreaming, is to get you forecasting and seeing a bigger future for yourself in the next 3 months. Like, oh my God. Or if you're like, I'm not there yet, what could I launch? What could I launch to bring me to that goal? So if, say my goal was 200,000, or if my goal was $200 and all this that adds up doesn't add up to where I want to be, what can I throw in the mix? Do I need to add more people, or do I need to launch a new offer to get me there? Because sometimes it's not, you can launch the same offer 3 times a year and make $1 million company. It doesn't have to be more or different things. It's maybe I need to tweak something here to get more payment plans in. Maybe I need to energetically tweak to bring in more bodies that I thought I was capable of. Well, I thought I could only do 50. Well, maybe I could actually do 100 people. Maybe I could do 100 people. And these aren't accurate numbers. We're going for, my stretch goal is 100 people for the fast track this round. My goal I know I can hit is 70 people. I know I can hit 70 people. My stretch goal is 100 people. I'm going for 100 people in this round of the fast track. We've only ever had 50. So this is what I mean. Stack your income month over month. When you create recurring payments, you create safety and security. But when you craft the vision of, oh my God, look at January. January is going to be a $180,000 month. I'm so excited. Let's bold that. And then February, what are my goals going to be for February? Well, I'm going for 110,000. Yay. And sometimes you're like, oh, how can I stack this up to where I don't have to work at all in July? Or if I don't have to take a whole summer off like I did last summer, maybe I can take a whole summer off. Wouldn't that be exciting? So when you predict it out like this, you're like, oh, well, in March, and then you get to write your post from a place of, you guys, I just crafted out my revenue goals for Q1 and I'm projecting bringing in this much. It is scary to say that out loud, but I'm holding myself accountable to my goals. So when you get that quick money win, your audience wants to cheer and celebrate you for you. They're like, holy shit, she's doing big things. She set a $30,000 revenue goal for this quarter 1. Like, that's huge. She's year 2 in her business or year 1 in her business. Like, they get to go along the journey with you. Take them along this ride here. Take them along this ride. They don't need to see all the fine print details, but they get to buy in with you into the excitement, into the energy of potential. If you can tap into posts from a place of potential, your audience will be that fuel under your rocket that lifts you. They're going to be cheering you on. Your rocket is already soaring. They're that extra push. It's like, you can break through, you can do this, you can hit that ceiling. But if we keep our goals to ourselves because we're afraid we're not going to hit them, we don't allow support in. We don't allow celebration. We don't allow our audience to come along for the ride. So what if you don't hit your goal? What does it mean? Absolutely fucking nothing. Absolutely nothing at all. Do I say all the time I didn't hit goals? Sometimes I say I didn't hit my goal. Do I always need to broadcast that I didn't hit my goal? No. It doesn't fucking matter. It's relevant. Doesn't mean that you lie and say you hit your goal when you really didn't. It means that sometimes we're here to be fully transparent and tell our audience and be vulnerable, but sometimes it's like, we're here to rise and inspire people, and I don't need to be vulnerable all the time. I need to be a CEO. Like, there's a difference between Hot Mess Express and vulnerability. And we're here to be vulnerable and honest and open with our audience. So all of that will be in your worksheets. You can take your payment plans and carry them over month. And if you have recurring payments already coming in, you're like, well, Jamie, I booked someone in November that's paying me till March. Well, there you go. That's money that's already in the bucket. I have a client who's already booked 7 figures for next year in the books. That isn't money that she has. She already has 7 figures. She's a tax strategist. I have another client that's booked over 6 figures for the year, just in payments plans recurring coming in from programs that she sold in December. So if she does nothing, she'll make 6 figures next year. If she does nothing. So what is your all's goal? I want to hear them, say them, make them feel tangible. What is your monthly goal for January? And then you can unmute yourself if you want to unmute yourself. I think Lauren's speaking, but she's muted. Unmute. It won't let me unmute you for some reason.
Oh, I was just making a face. So my business is brand new, like 2 months old. So my goal, which feels huge for me right now, is $5,000 for January.
That is huge. That is huge, especially for a brand new business. What does that feel when you say $5,000?
Amazing. That's $5,000 of helping people. So
Does it scare you?
yes, but in a good way.
Good. Okay, so that's the good feeling. When the goal is too big, when the goal is like, oh my God, Lauren, what does $10,000 feel to you?
That's my February goal.
Okay, but what does $10,000 feel to you right now for December?
Oh,
There's still time left. If I were to say $10,000 for December, what does that feel?
stressful.
Did you see her energy shift, her body language? Her whole face went like this. So the energy of $5,000 of January and $10,000 for February versus $10,000 right now. Do you see the stepping stone of possibility? This is why I teach money mindset and understanding the energy of our brains, but I teach it from a scientific brain chemical way as to watch her body language, what she just did in that moment. Because what happens when you fire these different thoughts, they create hormones in your body, which create a physical response, which caused her to go like this. But the other response caused her body to light up like this. So when we think thoughts of, okay, this sounds scary, $5,000. It's going to require a new level of me, but I'm ready and it's fucking possible and I'm doing it. That is a full body fuck yes. When it feels, and this is why I say, why doesn't everyone hire the slay coach privately? Because it feels unattainable. Well, I couldn't hire someone because I couldn't make that money back. I couldn't potentially, even though I believe anyone that has a brand new business could pay my paid in full $80,000, $100,000 a year private coaching prices and make that back. A baby Rick could come in and do it. I believe so deeply in the work that I do, but they don't believe that yet. They're like, I need to hire. Well, it's been brewing for a long time. Yes, yes, yes. So I need to hire someone on the stepping stone to that. I need to join a course, or I need to do, because it doesn't feel possible yet. People don't come to me privately to hire me now that don't have a business at all yet. They don't. I mean, there are people that are high level CEOs, or like I have lots of high performing women pharmacists. They're not in the coaching world that hire me for performance coaching, but they already see the ROI in coaching. It's not they're hiring it to get an ROI in their business. Does that make sense? So the stepping ladder, the ladder that we're climbing up, requires us to not skip too many rungs. You can jump and skip a few, but if you jump too high, it feels like I might fall. Like, if you're thinking about you're climbing up a ladder to put up Christmas lights, and you're like, this one I can reach with my tippy toes, I can reach it. But if I were to jump, I could probably reach that 1, 2, or 3 rungs. If you were to say, hey, Nicole, hey, Lauren, can you jump from rung number 1 to rung 10? You would be like, no, I'd fall and break my neck. I can't fucking do that. That's what our brain feels like, energetically leaping into the quantum of what's possible for us financially or business growth wise. Like, it doesn't feel like I could bring on 12 employees right now, when in reality, all of you could go get a business loan right now and make $1 million this year. You could go get a fucking, just like every other business had to in the 1980s, 60s, 70s. There was no internet. If they wanted to start a business, they had to go put themselves in $150,000 of debt to start the fucking business. Why do we treat that differently in the internet world? I don't fucking know. Because everyone could be making 7 figures this year. My client that just signed on with me, I'm not claiming I had a big hand in her success. She had to like move some of her income to next year so she didn't pay a ton of taxes. She put $100,000 into an IRA because she was first year 1, made $700,000 this year 1. Okay, so it's all possible, but you have. So what I'm saying is, literally any single one of you sitting on this call today could be that person. Most of you aren't willing to leap that big. That's scary. And you don't have to. That's your choice. You get to decide how quick your growth is. Why did I jump to where I am as quick as I did? A lot of really big ladder skips. I skipped several rungs of the ladder each time I leaped. I didn't just grab for the next rung. I was like, okay, next level self. No one with my income or revenue has a major conference year 2 in their business. No one does that. Why? Because it's $100,000 to throw a big event like that, minimum. So like, no one does that. Why did I do it? Because I saw a vision and I was like, I'm leaping bigger. I'm going to jump quicker. I'm going to do it faster than everyone else. Okay. So what that tax person did is she brought on a whole team of people and she positioned herself. She invested in coaches and mentors and all the things. But it's all possible for you all too. Just remember that quantum leaps isn't just investing in money. It's a money mindset of hiring the people, supporting the flow with a team. Like me hiring another full-time person that I pay ridiculously well was super scary for me. It's always super scary for me. Doing Summit of Slay, still fucking scary for me. Like, I can't believe we're doing it again. I'm like, this is still scary. This is still a lot of money. But I just know that it's coming back. I just know. But quantum leaps, you get to decide if you want to go one rung at a time. That's okay too. No one's here to dictate how quickly you leap. It's how bad do you want to leap and how quick do you want to leap. I'm not judging anyone that wants to take this road one rung over the next. That's still a really good road. We need people like that in this world. But if you want to do a little bit more, my job is to make you see that it's possible and that you're going to be okay and that you're going to be safe and that it's going to work out. So you get to decide, Lauren, that you're the next Amy Porterfield. I know this because we met in the DCA world as well. So you get to decide that you're her now. People are going to take you just as seriously as they take Amy Porterfield. I remember wanting to quantum leap. You want instant miracles, you have to go grab them. So visualize that money. Don't set your goal so high that you won't get behind it. So if you think I'm not going to hit that rung of that ladder, you won't. If you want to jump from rung ladder 1 to rung ladder 10, you can. But you're not going to do it if you the whole time are like, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. But I'm going to do it. It's not going to work. No, don't go in with that energy. It's like a gymnast or any other elite sport that you watch. You see, this is why so many athletes have performance coaches, mental coaches. Like elite gymnasts have mental coaches. All the Olympic gymnasts have them. Because it's not that they can't do the crazy skill off of the balance beam. It's that they've fallen 12 times before. And while they're in there, like, this isn't going to work. This isn't going to, and guess what? It doesn't work. They fall off. But if they're leaping, doing those flips and saying, it's going to fucking work, I'm going to nail it, I'm going to land it. Focus and concentration, and you land it. Did anyone play sports? Raise your hand if you played sports in life. I know Bree did. Anyone play any sport? Jace? What sport did you play, Nicole? She's typing. Netball. I don't even know what that is, but volleyball. Yeah, volleyball. I played volleyball. Swim. Have you ever psyched yourself? Oh, diving. That's a one that you would definitely psych yourself out of, Jace. How many times did Jace psych herself out in a dive? Because diving, you could hurt your head and kill yourself. Like, hit your head and kill yourself. But like diving, like horseback riding, jumping, so many belly flops, right? Like, but the time that I hit my free throws, it was part muscle memory because I had been doing it. But what separates the guy on the finish line or on the free throw line with 1.1 second left on the clock and they're down by 2 or down by 1 and they need both free throws to win the game, what separates it isn't his muscle memory. He's in the NBA. He's good enough to shoot free throws. Okay, I guarantee you. If he's in the NBA, he can shoot a fucking free throw unless he's Shaq. He's not in the NBA anymore. But there are some that are very not good at it, but he's a point guard and he's been shooting. What separates the guy that nails the game and the guy that doesn't? It's the belief that I'm going to hit this shot. It's the focus of I'm going to fucking hit this shot. It's going to happen. But when you freak out, you tense up, you miss it. You fall, you get hurt. So use that analogy in your business, whatever life analogy you want to use, whether it's sports or the ladder rung and leaping. But like, I get to make that leap to 10K months in February. Lauren, that's a huge difference. That's double. So you have to really commit to that next number and say, I'm going to fucking hit this number. Even though last month was half of that, I'm going to hit this number. But if you're saying, Lauren, you're going to hit $1 million in February, you'd be like, no, I'm not. Yeah. So you can baby step your goals. You can quantum leap your goals. But the only way that any of them will work is if you're behind it. It's going to fucking work. It's going to fucking work. It's going to fucking work. Based on our past experience, our past traumas, our past clients, our past evidence, we all have different levels of what we're capable of jumping to. So don't shame yourself if you're not able to jump to rung number 10 yet, based on past trauma or based on past evidence that it's possible for you. We all have our own journey, but I'm saying it's all yours for the grabbing if you want to go out there and grab it. So does anyone have any questions today on the stacking your income and planning it out? Or money in general? Happy to sit. Bree, go ahead.
Yeah. So I am opening up a new business coaching business, and I need to do a little bit more research on the prices. And so I tend to go lower, and I've already have a business. I've had it for 4 years, and it's now I'm like, okay, don't shoot too low. And so that's what I'm kind of curious in the sense of, prices, prices when you are new, like maybe Lauren, and I don't know, I'm like nervous to put a new price on my worth. So
Okay, cool. So here's the thing that pisses me off about high ticket coaching, that a coach will tell you, charge your worth, charge your worth. Bitch, I am priceless. You can't afford me at what I'm worth. You're not paying for my worth. I am priceless. You can't afford me. There is no fucking price that you could afford for this. You don't own me. I'm not selling myself to you. I don't belong to you and you don't belong to me. I don't like the ownership of the coach client thing where also feels as it's my client or this is my coach. I'm like, no, you don't own me. You are borrowing me. You are renting me. So what am I worth to rent per hour? Like, it's not charging your worth, but it's like, what am I worth to rent per hour? What's the minimum that I would do this service for? Sometimes for the right person, it's free because I'll see something in them and I'll give them a call because they're a past student or a client and they need some love. And I'm like, hey, I just want to check on you and I want to give you a call. So sometimes that means me checking on people and doing a service for free. But I don't do that very often anymore. But sometimes when I do, it's really important and impactful and I know it's going to change the world. But when I first started, I saw these high ticket coaches and I was like, who do you want to be for? Who do you want to be for? So, and what can you energetically get behind? Because we get in our heads with high ticket prices, whether it be consulting or coaching or done for you, and think that I need to charge what everyone else is charging. And then we miss the mark and then people get crickets and no one buys. And they're like, what happened? I was charging what the going rate was, whatever. You couldn't get behind the price. The problem isn't the price isn't the problem. The problem is your problem with the price. I say that all the time, but the price isn't the problem. The problem is your problem with the price. You have a problem with your price. You think I wouldn't pay that for this. You think no one's going to pay this for this. You think they're going to think this is too, they're going to get crickets. They're going to have so many objections to this price. What can you get behind? So for me, 3 years ago, just 3 years ago, it was $300 a month, $600 a month. Depends on what level of access you got to me. So when that booked out, and this is not one-sided. This isn't one way. Like, I had 2,000 followers. I was a fitness coach that had been doing fitness coaching for years. I really, really had a lot of people coming to me for help that were brick and mortar businesses that didn't have a lot of overhead. They were doulas. They were wedding event planners. They were not coaches. I'm still a coach that isn't just for coaches. And I brand myself that way, but also my high ticket service is CEOs, 7-figure business owners. Some of them are high performing business owners that aren't coaches, and some of them are coaches. Most of the people that hire me at my high ticket level are coaches because they want to know how I've done this thing. And I don't think that that's wrong or bad. It just is what it is. But some of my stuff down here is for the people, for all the people. So who do you want to be for? Because Bree thought I was going to give her a price. Isn't that cute? I'm not going to give you a price. That's for you. It's like, how big of a penis size do you desire? I don't know. It's different for all of us. We all want different things, and some people don't want penises at all. So I want you to think of, who do you really want to be for? Like, my private coaching, I want to be for my mastermind and my private coaching. I want to be for women that are making incredible leaps and changes in the world. I'm the leader for leaders. So my private coaching isn't for the same person that joins the fast track yet. Most of them graduate and then work their way up to that. My private coaching is for people like that tax strategist who need to learn how to work less. They're stressed out because they're working so much. They're making a ton of money, but they're working too much. They want to work less. People come to me because they want to work less and they want more life balance and they want more freedom. So it's different problems, different type of person. They're not trying to just grow their business when they come to me. They're like, can this be easier? I'm like, yeah, it can be so much easier. So it's a different person, different problems that I serve with my private high ticket stuff now than what I did 3 years ago. 3 years ago, it was like, how do I launch my business? So will I be open to working with someone if they were like, I want to pay $100,000 to get you to help me launch this business? I believe so deeply in it. I would absolutely serve them. The majority of people that come to me aren't baby grape fermenting level for my private stuff. So like Bree, you're in the Moneymind VIP. Like you're working with me privately for the next 2 more months. Like you're not a baby grape. You've been doing this for years. You have different questions and different needs and different desires. So if you think this is a no-brainer. I can really fucking believe that in this price, and for you too, Lauren. I can believe in this price. This is a no-brainer. Here's what the going market rate, because I remember thinking, well, my coach is charging $1,000 a month. And I passed my coach up. I was charging, by month 2, I was charging more than my coach because I had booked out so quickly. My first coach. But also I was more experienced and older and more, I just hired the wrong coach. I mean, not the wrong coach. I outgrew her within 2 months. I learned what was great and beautiful, but then I utilized all my corporate experience from my background and realized that I was, more advanced than she was. So I charged more than my coach. I know my coach now, her name's Melanie. Her coach is my old coach, Amanda Francis. Melanie makes way more money than Amanda. But Melanie has her as a coach. It's not when you get to a certain level, it's like not about who's charging more or who's making more. It's about what pricing you can get behind. I pay Melanie way more than I paid Amanda. So I pay $10,000 a month for my coach. Feels really fucking good to do it. I feel grateful that I have the money in there to do so. And I get a good service. And now I'm learning how to be a really, really heart-centered leader like her. I'm just so grateful to pay her every month. And I'm happy to do it. So can you imagine charging $10,000 right now a month, Bree? No, if you can't imagine it, then it's not possible. You know what I mean? So whatever you can grab from the quantum, it's all possible because there's a person that will pay at every price point, but not if you can't get behind your prices.
Yeah. My last little question is, because I'm making a business pivot, I know obviously business textbooks always say start one-on-one first. Obviously I know, Jane, you're gonna be like, fuck the textbooks, but like, and I guess how do you really, you need to build up because people don't know you do this. And it could be like your special product that you like the special In-N-Out menu. Sorry, California In-N-Out. But that's like been on my low DM. And so how do you, I guess, nurture people to know more about that? Do you start with high one-on-one? Do you start with a mastermind? Do you start with like just a shit ton of freebies, like kind of like what you talk about on your podcast? I've done it all in my business now, but it's like, fuck, where do I start? So
I want to make sure you went back and stalked my pivot because I had a similar pivot. So go back on Instagram. And if you haven't yet, go back and watch my pivot from 2017. You will see where it shifts from fitness to Slay Coach based on the color of my hair being blonde, then purple. So that's how you know when you've got to the blonde, stop scrolling. So for me, everyone's going to tell you work the top and work your way down. But there are people like Amy Porterfield that start at the bottom and work your way up. There's no right or wrong. Amy started at the top and worked her way down. She did private consulting once she left Tony Robbins. So I use her as an example because that's where I met Lauren and I know she can relate. But also I've been low-key learning from Amy for years. A lot of masculine teachings. But the reason why let me tell you the reason why I start at the top and work my way down. Not that you have to. It's that I can get a good example of where my audience is and what their problems are and what level of person is interested in what I have to say. Are these baby grapes that are following me? Are these people that don't have a business at all? Or are they just struggling in business? Are they they've been around in business for years and they're not making consistent money, and who is the person? So once I get those few, maybe it's private clients, maybe it's a high level private mastermind, but once I get those high ticket people in, then I go in. I do this still to this day. This is why I always at least have 1 or 2 private clients. I mean, I never completely fully take off. Like I was off most of the summer and I didn't take clients, but I still had 2 semi-private clients that I talked to that have never left me. They've been with me for years. So I can get an idea of what they need problems with. Okay, let me record this call because guess what? I'm going to create a freebie after this call on what we just talked about. So like the thing that I talked to one of my newer private clients, and it's great having newer clients too, because then it's new problems. And I get new ideas. Like all my inspired ideas come from, oh, I didn't know you didn't know this. Let me create. I bet if you don't know this, I bet other people don't know this. So let me teach you how to map out your, it wasn't income planning, but we mapped out her programs for quarter one. It wasn't, it was figuring out what's going to upsell, what's going to downsell to the next thing. It was like, how do we map out a flow of programs in our product suite that work good together in the first half of the year? So I was like, oh, I'm going to create a freebie for this. I bet other people don't know this. Or I'm going to relaunch the freebie that I already have that is basically the same thing. Does that make sense? What do you want to do, Bree?
What do I want to do? I personally, I'm gonna launch my it's an 8-week online nutrition and fitness course in January. And then I'm gonna bring my rebrand out into February. So that's what I think I really want to do. And my first thing is probably do a lot of freebies and probably some of the, I'm probably go high end first. I like the high end, build the high end and then go down.
Yeah. Because it's, for the reasoning behind it is it's much easier to close 5 sales than it is to close 50 to get to the same financial result.
Yeah.
So people, so why the logic behind that is that you're doing that so that if I close 5 sales that get me to $5,000, what can I do with that $5,000? I can reinvest it into supporting. Now we have ads. Now I have a person that runs ads that's on my team. Now I have so when I started at the high, and here's the evolution of a product suite. You can look at this from one of my posts from a while back. I think it was like last fall. Let me go back and find it. No, that's the hierarchy of needs. Hold, please. Okay, so the income foundation evolution. This post was from October of last year. So if you're where you want to be, so here's where most of us are or were. Done for you is the foundation of the pyramid. One-on-one exchanging time for money is 50% of our revenue. Then high ticket masterminds, then group coaching experiences, VIP days, then courses, 10%. Right? Because you're only charging $100 to $2,000 for a course when you could charge $20,000 for private coaching or something. Here's where you want to be. It's 50% of our foundational revenue is from passive sources. Courses, products, etc., group coaching. Then time with you is up here. Oh, I still do time with me, but look, I'm doing this in a group setting. And this was like a $75K launch. And I'm doing this in a group setting and it still gets a ton of value. And people are like, yes, 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 give me more. And then here I have 3 private clients. 3. But here on this side, 15. I had 15 private clients. Then I had like 10 mastermind clients. Don't overwhelm yourself like I did a couple years ago. But the reason why, or what you can do is, if you're willing to put the work into meticulously perfecting one product, that is possible too. You can meticulously perfect one product and then perfect the funnel and then start to crank on ads that grow that product. Then you take more money, you put it into more ads. But that is a evolution that takes a lot of emotional intelligence that most people aren't willing to do because they want money and they want it now. Well, you can't just crank a funnel onto a program that has had no beta testers, that has no testimonials, that you can't just crank on a funnel to something that doesn't have you energetically behind it because you don't know if it works, because the funnel won't be behind it either. So, but I know people that just perfect one program and it gets better and bigger year after year. We have simplified our product suite. Whereas the first year was like, I made all these courses. I still did private coaching and I made all these courses and it was super exciting and yummy. But then I was like, wait, I don't want to recycle that that product suite next year. So we took off 1 or 2 of the courses that didn't serve us, and then we doubled down on the ones that we really loved. So that's how we got to be all in with the fast track. And I know a lot of you guys are in the fast track for next time. So that's where we're like, this is the thing. This is the thing that we really believe in, that we can get behind, that serves us, that serves the people. It's our highest cost program. It costs us the most because we pay coaches. I'm not just paying them an influence and they get to be under me, or, like I'm paying them dollar bills or digital currency. I'm paying them really well so that the clients feel really well supported, because I can't coach 100 people by myself. And each time we get more and more and more and more people each launch. And for a while we kept raising the price. And I was like, wait, I don't want to keep raising the price just because the demand keeps going up. I want to bring on more support so I can get more people in this door. So that's where we found the price at around $3,000. That felt like we had it up to $4,500 at one point, but we didn't attract it. If I was like, oh, if I charge more, I'll attract a higher level of clientele. That wasn't the case. So we've now got it at our sweet spot, but I've perfected that. I've ran that like 6 times now. So this is going to be your year of testing. 2021. I'm like, what year is it? Because you're launching this new thing. This is going to be your year of testing the products. You get to launch things and you get to be creative and you get to do new things. But then 2022, your second year of business coaching, is going to be like, oh, this is where we perfect. And now I'm at the refining stage. Like last year, we perfected it. We had the product suite, we rinsed and repeated. This is the refinement stage. So I hope I'm not talking in circles, or I hope this isn't too high level for some people, but when you're building a product suite, you can do it with 2 products. You can do it with 5. My coach, I think, has like 10 to 12 different products. And I'm like, whew, I don't want to do that many. I don't want to do that many. Not that that's bad or wrong. I just don't want to talk about that many different things that often. So create one and do it really well. Yeah, there is no rule. But how will you know which one is going to be the perfect one if you don't try other things? If you don't try. So I'm not saying how will you know which one is going to be the one that doesn't work if you aren't willing to try things. We had to try 5 or 6 different things to figure out, oh, this is the thing that we really shine at. We really shine at doing group coaching in a really, really good way. I mean, Jace went through it twice. So yeah, you can throw so much in there. If you are only launching a few products, do you just alternate each month? Yeah, so we also have affiliate revenue, affiliating for other products and things that helps us bring in to get to our revenue goal. But I'm launching the fast track 3 times a year. I'm launching my mastermind twice a year. And then if you look at it's 222. I looked at my phone at 222. So if you look at our plan, we have a new thing launching every month because we're cranking out a new membership, a mastermind membership. It's going to be called the Slady Boss Social Club. So it's going to be a mastermind for those scaling to 6 figures. And it's going to be group calls like this, but you're going to get access to all of my programs and you're going to get a new program each month. But it's programs I've already done. I'm not creating new programs every month. We're rinsing and repeating. And sometimes it's like, oh, the fast track launches twice this year. So you'll get the fast track twice that year. Does that make sense? So you'll get the Moneymind twice that year because we'll launch it twice that year. And you'll get to go through, because the work, it's a year-long membership. It's a mastermind, but it's also a year-long mastermind. So we're going to be launching that in February. But it's not a new product. It's just a group experience. It's a way that we took our 6-figure Slayers Club and we're making it a 6-figure, I forget what we called it. It's the 6-figure Slay Society. So it's going to be like a social club that also gets events and other things, but it's the same thing that we've been doing. So we're perfecting something that we already did. It was a mastermind and we're making it a little bit better. So each year I'm making things a little bit better. So when you're planning out year over year, if you don't have a ton of products yet, how many of you have any products at all that aren't private? So Brittany, Bree, anybody? Lauren, you're just creating your first one, right? Jace, you have your membership, right? So you all are in that building phase, creating your first one. Yeah. So you can create just one and do it really, really well and launch it over and over and over and over and over again. I have friends, like I know Catherine Zenkina, she only has like 2 or 3 like passive products and she launches them full ass like 3 times a year. But that wasn't like that her first year. Now it's like my first year I had like an influencer course. I had 2 different types of money courses. I had what was it? A mindset course. What else? I mean, I could look, guys, I have so many products in Kajabi if you could look at them all, but now I don't launch them all anymore. I have my sales course. So we'll be launching the sales course. But my way isn't your way. And don't think that just because I do things a certain way that that's the only way that it works. It's not my job to make my way work on you. It's your job to figure out if my way would work for you and if you want to pick that up. If not, it's your job to pick my brain to figure out what is your best way so that I can pick your brain and we can get down to the bottom of things. Because I'm not here to project on you what your business should look like. That's what a consultant does. I am not a consultant. So any other questions before we hop off here?
Jamie, I have one, and this might be too much like tactical, practical. I don't know, when I see people talk about their income goals, they're all like super fucking clean, right? But like my membership is $27 a month, which does not equal super clean, no matter how I slice it, right? So like my January income goal is $63.59 or something like that. And then my February goal is like $13.22. And it's like, should I be trying to even that out as much as possible? So it's easier.
What you're saying is, should I be less crazy? Is that what you're saying?
No, it would be like more crazy. Like I think we could stretch to 15,000, right? But like,
well, you're very exact in your numbers, and that's not good or bad. It's not right or wrong. Yeah. I love Lauren's Bah Humbug shirt. It's sitting above your head right now. So I see Jace, and it says Bah Humbug right above you. So if you're stretching yourself, like really stretching yourself, ask yourself, does it feel good to push myself in this season that I'm in to 15,000? Because rising isn't just monetary. Can we talk about that for a second? Rising isn't just monetary. Your value isn't on how much you make. Your growth isn't just on the financial number. My growth this year wasn't just my finances, because we didn't make much more than we made last year. And there is still some energetic shit I need to work through about that with my coach, is that, oh, what does it mean that I didn't make $2 million this year? Doesn't mean anything. But I wanted to take off this year because COVID happened and I didn't have childcare for 3 months and I have 3 fucking kids. So that's what it meant. It meant that I wanted to be present as a mother. It meant that I stopped traveling so that I could stop avoiding my tiny humans. Because I'll do it. I'll throw myself into work. I'm like, they're whining. I don't want to parent right now. Yay, let's do it. Yay. We'll start a group chat in Messenger. We can all be in there. So what I'm saying is that I have to hop off here in just a second. Jace, I want you to stretch yourself. And there's no too much or too practical or tactical question you could ever ask me. I will always answer every question that you all throw at me. So set your goal in a way that makes you feel really, really proud. And sometimes that goal might be less. Maybe that goal that you're setting for yourself that's going to make you really proud is, I'm going to be really proud if I do nothing and still make 30K this month. That was me this summer. I was like, I want to do absolutely nothing and make 30K passively. I want to hang out on my paddleboard with my kids all summer. That was my goal. And I was really fucking proud of that. And I had to work through a lot of shit with my coach on what it meant that I didn't have a 6-figure month when I wasn't working. Like, I had to work through, what did it mean about my identity? Because I'm this person that makes all this money and people know me for my 6-figure launches and my 6-figure months and what does it mean about me? Nothing. My personal growth is what's stretching me. And now I throw in the financial growth with it. Yeah, it's all just growth. So Jace, if you feel like I'm ready to go, set the $15,000 goal. Or $15,000, 227 cents. I don't know. Whatever your exact number is. but set the goal if you're ready to roll. But if you're in a season where you're like, I'm going to be really fucking proud of me right now at 5K, 10K, 100K, whatever it is, like own your numbers. You have to just clean that energy up. You have to just get really clear on this is going to feel really fucking good for me. And I'm not comparing myself to anyone else's income. I'm going to make myself really proud. And if you've been working too much, maybe that means we need to pull it in and set smaller goals because you need to live. Or maybe that is we need to hire more so that you can live more. And maybe your profit margins get smaller because you're bringing on more people to hold the space with you. But set your goals that make you really proud to go to bed at night, because that's the goal. And that's what my goal is for here. And I have chills just thinking about that. If I think about my friend that passed away this week, he worked his ass off and traveled the country and didn't see his baby the last 3 years. That is not what we're doing here. You know, like this isn't who can struggle more to get to 7 figures. It's not just about the 7 figures. How can I improve your quality of life because you're in this family? And your validation isn't your mama slay's favorite pet because you made the most money. That's not it. My goal as your coach is to make sure you are really happy at the end of the day and you are really proud and you are really fulfilled in what you are doing. Yeah. So yeah, total game changer. I mean, we just brought in our 3rd full-time employee. I mean, my goal is to get to what my coach is doing. She pays every one of her like 8 to 12 employees 6 figures a year. I want to get there. I mean, I'm paying $6,000 to $8,000 a month per each employee. And that feels really good and scary because I wanted to pay them really well because I wanted them to be super invested. So I decided to bring on people who this year, for the first time, I wasn't making as much in the summer, but I was like, I'm investing all that into people who can support me. So this is what makes me proud. So my goal is to make you feel really proud about you. All right. I love you guys. Thank you all for being here. I'm so glad we did this. What do you think of beta testers? I have a tendency to give away so much free shit. So I'm trying to work through that, but it could be valuable for reviews. Any opinion here? Brittany, I'm going to unmute you real quick.
Sorry, I know you were just signing off. I didn't mean to throw in a comment.
Never apologize for asking for help. So, and how I would coach you to address that is thank you so much for taking the extra time or being appreciative. Don't ever be sorry for asking me for more. Like, so beta testers for me, my clients were my beta testers in my first program because I was walking them through what I saw they were missing and I was creating a course module basically that I was walking them through. And then I got their testimonials to put on the sales page because I walked them through that process. Right. Mm-hmm. So you can get beta testers too. And I have clients that have gotten like 50 beta testers and then it took off and soared. So you can do the beta testers or you can use your clients as beta testers as testimonials to go on the sales page. But really you just need to feel really good that this product works. Yeah. So if you need more beta testers to feel really confident, then please bring them in and say, oh my God, this is a ridiculous deal. I'm giving the first 5 women that comment the ability to walk through this program for free. So
yeah, I like it.
It's energetic exchange. Like even when people win scholarships with me, it's not a fucking freebie. You earned that shit and you feel up like you earned it. So yeah,
they attracted it, right? They themselves attracted it.
Well, they attracted, or a lot of times they held the space energetically for it, or they did the do, whether that be to share on social media, to share my videos, or because I believe in when I win, you win, we all win. How can I give to you and how can you give to me? And we can all just support each other. So they earned anything. So this isn't the women that show up for this. They're not getting something just for free. They're gonna have to show up and do the work. That makes sense.
Yeah, no, it helps. Thank you.
All right. I love you guys. Have a good fucking week. Go hug on your family and love your babies and just be super grateful at the end of the day. And I'm super grateful for you all for being here. And if you need anything, tag me in the Facebook group and we'll set up the group chat next. All right. Love you guys.